resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm yours, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Brian, how the hell are you, buddy?
Oh, man, I am so wore out, dude.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, so we have been all weekend at MobiCon. That's Mobile's comic book convention in downtown Mobile. Having a great time, so thanks to all the staff and volunteers out there for a great time. We hung out with a lot of cool folks. The folks from Zombie Orpheus Entertainment were there.
Yep.
And we got to spend a lot of quality time with those guys. And
A.K.A. drinking.
Oh, yes, exactly. Oh, it was a good deal.
All right, well, let's lay out the show real quick.
Right.
Top nerd news, which starts off every show. And then we got our boy Skungy with his pick of the week. Say hi, Skungy.
Hi.
All right, don't talk again. All right, and then after that, we have a very special guest.
Yes, we have Mr. Darryl Field, the author of Blood Memory Society. He was in studio a couple of weeks ago. We got a great interview with him, and we're going to air it tonight.
And as always, we'll close out the show with a little thing we like to call This Week in Geek History. But let's get to it. And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, I think I know what our top story is, but,
Well, yes. So, Solo, a Star Wars story, debuted this weekend. We have not seen it yet.
We have not. We've been busy. We've been busy.
Yeah, because we've been at the con. But, man, mixed reviews.
Yeah, apparently it's just not going over well. I don't think we talked about it where we're just not sure if the will to go see it was there, the want, that people really, did we need more Han Solo backstory? I mean, yeah, we'd kind of like it, but I think we'd have all rather see something completely different, and I think people are speaking with their wallets.
No, true, and what's interesting is I've been watching a lot of Facebook. There's a lot of what I'd say the more hardcore fanboys out there who are really dissing it. Some people are like, "This is an absolute dumpster fire."
Whiny bitches.
Well, and then there's people who are more the Midland fans,
right?
Who are like, "Yeah, it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Had a good time."
It was just a fun film. Well, was it necessary? Not really, but it was fun.
Yeah. So I mean, the middle of the road people are the ones I usually kind of tend to. I'll look into their opinions more and give them a little bit more credence. So, I mean, if it's there, it's fun. Yay,
I understand there's a really cool cameo in the movie.
Yeah.
We're not going to give any spoilers at this point.
Let's talk about money and how we know that we're not just making crap up.
So I looked at the box office numbers before the show. Domestic is at $83 million.
Jesus.
Worldwide is $148. China is not happy. China has not taken on Star Wars.
Yeah, they haven't on any of them. Same thing with Rogue One. There wasn't a whole lot of interest in China for it.
In fact, China put up another $18 million for Avengers this weekend.
They went to go see that more again.
And actually, a bit of an aside, Avengers is $1.9 billion right now.
That's obscene, man.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I liked in the article that we were looking at is that all of the prequels that Lucas created did better than Han Solo, Solo, a Star Wars story. Misa think that's a no good.
Yeah, I'm going to go try to check it out tomorrow. And,
we're off tomorrow. It's a Memorial Day.
Yes,
Woo!
yeah.
I'm just going to be nursing the hangover still.
Right.
All right, what's next, man?
Well, since we're on Star Wars, the director of Logan, James Mangold, is going to be directing a Boba Fett movie.
So we have another Star Wars movie that we're really not sure we want, but we're getting it anyway.
Well, but we never got enough Boba Fett.
Did we? Did we not?
Well, no. I mean,
once the prequels came in, and we kind of find out that he's basically a clone without the extra accelerated growth. We know what he looks like underneath the mask now. Well, that mystery is gone.
Yeah, but I mean, that was just the kid Boba Fett. I mean, we wanted to see the adventurous, Boba Fett.
We saw that in the holiday special.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I find myself caring less and less about it. When they kept putting him back in, and then when he remastered A New Hope and Empire and everything, he put him gave him a little more screen time.
Right.
Because they had extra stuff in the vault. I mean, you can't force these kind of things. They try to make Captain Phasma, a real big deal, but it turned out your boy TK, whatever the hell he was.
Finn.
Yeah, no, not Finn. The other guy, the guy who's like traitor.
Right.
Yeah, that dude was awesome. So I want to see a movie about him. Really.
Right.
I'd rather see something about him than Fett.
Okay.
Or Dengar. I'm still waiting on Dengar.
Right.
Oh, that'd be great.
IG-88.
Yeah.
IG-88 and Dengar. It'd be like a cop buddy film.
Oh, jeez.
All right, what's next, man?
Well, hey, Captain Marvel is moving its production to New Orleans.
What does that mean? Are you getting a gig? Are you going to be LCBH?
Well, if I can, I will. Absolutely.
LCBH MCU.
But yeah, June 26th, the production is coming to New Orleans. They may also shoot some scenes in Baton Rouge. There's some speculation that the character of Monica Rambeau may pop up in the movie because her birthplace is New Orleans.
Right, yeah, so like she was the first one to take the mantle of Captain Marvel like 60-some-odd years ago or whatever?
Yeah, 30 years ago. But yes, but, I mean, that's all rumor and speculation. We're not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, we talk about it all the time. They're filming stuff down here. That's great for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, if I see a 5-minute ride from downtown New Orleans to the Bayou, I'm going to be pissed.
Well.
Just saying.
It's going to happen.
Putting it out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Putting it out there right now. All right. So, The Expanse got saved, Brian.
Yeah. So, what was it?
Amazon, huh?
Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos made the announcement at the International Space Development Conference and basically saying The Expanse is saved to great applause.
Is that a fancy way of saying that, like, he puts the showtimes together? Like, he puts the lineup together?
Is he like the production dude in the back?
I get International Space
clipboard.
Development. He's filling the space.
Yeah, right. Jeez. But there's a lot of huge fans out there of The Expanse. It's it's based on a novel series, and so there's a lot of direction that they can go with this property. And I'm actually very excited that they're saving it.
I'm wondering if Syfy just canceled it because they couldn't afford it anymore.
Well, the article was interesting in that
Sharknado budgets keeps going up. So, I mean, you got to put a lot of money in those Sharknado movies.
They do. And basically they're saying that Sci-Fi had struggled to find a consistent audience due to the rights. And there's that emphasis on live viewings. But, you and I both know in the geek world, geeks want it when they want it.
Right.
And the on-demand is it. So this, may be the way to get that audience they were looking for.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, I mean, Amazon has a whole lot of cool stuff coming. It's a Ringworld production, The Peripheral, and, of course, the J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings adaptation
yeah, that's
is
right.
coming.
That's right. I mean, yeah, I got Amazon Prime. I mean, I like it, but they don't really have a whole lot in the way of, like, movies, like mainstream movies. They do a lot of more just, like the Netflix kind of stuff, but more highbrow entertainment.
Okay.
So, but they do have a lot of crappy movies,
Yeah.
like Orcs. That's an actual
They
movie.
They do have a lot of really good original content, like The Man from High Castle and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's kind of what The Expanse kind of is going to be. It's that kind of based on a book, and it's got a budget. So,
Right.
Speaking of budgets, Kevin Smith had the scratch to make Clerks 3.
$8 million he had.
$8 million.
And it's not happening.
Why?
Jeff Anderson is why. Randall from Clerks.
Like, no time for love, Dr. Jones.
Right. He does not want to be part of it.
Why?
That's a really good question.
What does he? Did he hit the lottery? Did he have a rich uncle that died? Does he not like money? I just don't get it. What the? I mean, he's not doing anything right now. I mean, his entire IMDb page is littered with Kevin Smith properties and even like some voice work from the Clerks cartoons and some other crap. Like he did something on Star Wars: The Clone Wars, voice something.
Yeah, he did like one episode.
I mean, he's done crap.
Right.
Does he just doesn't like eating? I don't know.
No, I mean, he just, Kevin Smith put everything in place to get Clerks 3 done. Jeff Anderson took a look at the script and said, no thanks.
I just don't. the worst part is like Kevin Smith is very adamant about not recasting him.
Right.
So I mean,
that might be a difficult thing to do.
I mean it kind of would, but it's not like
he was a linchpin of those movies.
Yeah.
Linchpin, schminchpin, it doesn't matter, I mean, it's like, yeah, he nailed it, but I mean, I don't know. I think you could probably find somebody that would have the right way to deliver that.
Maybe
and they just grab another nobody because that's who they were.
Right.
Brian O'Halloran is still, working at stuff, but I mean, he's not, he's not crushing it in the box office. He's not leading man material,
right?
But he was for Clerks, and he's great at what he does.
Well, maybe Jeff Anderson is busy prepping for his performance in NASA SEALs.
Ugh. What the hell is that?
I don't know. It's on his IMDb page. It looks terrible.
So is it like the ice spiders? Maybe that's why Sci-Fi canceled The Expanse. They ran out of money producing this Navy NASA SEALs crap.
Yeah, when alien thugs invade a station deep in space, NASA astronauts and Navy SEAls must team up to rescue the survivors.
Right.
Oh, I'm excited.
I am too. Ice spiders in space.
Terrible.
Man, screw that guy.
Speaking of terrible.
Screw that guy.
Bad news on Sesame Street, Dave.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Sesame Street is suing Melissa McCarthy and the production company associated with a new puppet movie that's R-rated.
Why would they do that?
Well, probably because now this is Brian Henson, right, the son of Jim Henson, and his alternate production company making a movie. What was it called?
Happytime Murders.
Thank you, Skungy. The Happytime Murders. But their big tagline is "No Sesame, All Street."
Oh my God!
And it is definitely worthy of the R rating that it's getting. Do you have some audio over there?
I do. In 1 second, I will. But
right.
So they've got the Red Band trailer, and obviously we are FCC regulated, so I had to make sure that I deleted out a lot of stuff. But here's the stuff that we can play.
You two are the most decorated officers in this department. What do you see?
Looks like a robbery gone wrong to me.
This wasn't a robbery. This was a hit.
What the?
Someone out there is killing puppets.
Hey, handsome.
You looking for some rotten cotton?
I'm a woman. That's okay.
Yeah, that's even better.
Got a good time for you. Got a good time for you.
Where is your dignity? Where's your empathy? Where is your sympathy? Bad cop.
Is Phil in?
He's servicing a client.
Is that what I think it is?
I like the soundtrack already. This is my new favorite song in the world.
Nice.
All right, so we got puppets doing it, puppets killing people, and puppets offering... what?
That's a pretty good line.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is, I almost feel like it's kind of like a dirty version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but, on Sesame Street.
Absolutely.
What the article said something like a phrase I had never heard before. It was puppet defamation.
Yeah. Puppet
defamation is what they're claiming in this suit.
Puppet defamation.
Yeah.
But I mean, this isn't the first time they've had a movie like this. They've had a lot of adult puppet movies like Meet the Feebles. Peter Jackson, who directed the Lord of the Rings trilogy, did an adult puppet movie.
Right.
So I don't know why they're suing him. Maybe.
Well, they literally said all Sesame, or no Sesame, all Street in the trailer. So, I mean, that's good. Look, I can guarantee you that they will remove that from the trailer, but they already got what they needed. They got the buzz. Sesame Street did them a solid by suing them.
Yeah.
So they'll remove it, apologize, and then just rake in all the damn cash as they shoot silly string on their windows.
Yeah. In the court papers, lawyers are asking not to use Sesame Street's trademarks or intellectual property and get rid of the phrase. That's really what it is.
Yep, they're going to do that, and they are golden.
Yeah. All right, cool. Oh, break time already.
It is.
All right, guys. Well, when we get back, we're going to get Skungy's Pick of the Week.
Are we going to call him?
No, because he's sitting right next to me.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, so we can't get rid of him this time.
Nope.
All right, guys, stay tuned. You are listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
It's long past time for the Big Easy to get a big comic convention. MightyCon proudly presents their very first New Orleans Comic Con, coming this June 9th and 10th at the Hilario Center in West Wego. The New Orleans Comic Con features hundreds of artists and creators, vendors, and of course, special guests. We also have free comics at the door for all attendees, free parking, and kids 12 and under get in free. Go to MightyConShows.com for more info. Don't miss New Orleans' biggest new comic book show.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics, and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Belle Chase Highway today.
D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe is open at 8228 Oak Street, just 2 blocks off of Carrollton. D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe has your RPGs and TCGs and a wall full of board games to rent both in-store and to take home. It's not just a game shop. As the name D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe says, it's also a cafe serving real food at great prices. Po' boys, salads, wraps, soups, pastries, and more. So head out to 8228 Oak Street and have some fun. And when it's all over, they'll clean up after you and all your nasty friends.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktitans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now.
Inconceivable!
Follow The Week in Geek on Instagram at The Week in Geek Radio Show.
Ha-ha, you fool! You fell victim to one of the classic blunders.
Here's David and Brian.
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek. You got it right for once, voice guy. This is D Squared and
Brian Held.
You know, Brian, we suffer for our art. You know, we have to do things that we wouldn't normally do because, you know, we provide a service to the community.
Right.
And all nerd kind. And so this is just something we have to grin and bear because, you know why? We're bleeping professionals.
Yeah, okay.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo! Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
I swear, if you rip on me 15 or 16 more times, I'm out of here, all right?
All right, well, good. That's good to know.
You're gonna tally
every
it.
time I fire you, though, we have to reset it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what do we got today, man?
We're going into the vault tonight, and we're going to talk about Brutal Legend.
Al Capone's vault?
Yes, Al Capone's vault. We got Geraldo Rivera in the next room waiting.
Road maps. Sorry. All right. Bad Legend.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Brutal Legend. Brutal Legend is a game that came out a while ago.
It's Jack Black, huh?
Yeah, it's with Jack.
Yeah.
It's got Jack Black in it. Now, this game is made by Tim Schafer. Tim Schafer is a legend in the community, video game making community. He's made Day of the Tentacle, Psychonauts, Escape from Monkey Island.
Day of the Tentacle.
You know, he worked on all those, like, a lot of those LucasArts point-and-click adventures in the 90s that were just so much fun.
Yeah.
He has a production company called Double Fine that makes a lot of quality games, and this was his second console game. If you are a metalhead in any way, shape, or form, this game is for you. It's an action-adventure game that basically is set in... You're playing a roadie who's voiced by Jack Black, and the roadie gets killed right away.
Okay.
It's no spoilers. And you end up in this world that looks like the cover of a heavy metal album cover.
Okay.
And you run into all these... Exactly. Well, Dio plays in the background. It's got like a metal soundtrack throughout the entire thing. And it's an action-adventure game where you're hacking and slashing, killing enemies, but it's actually kind of like 3 games in one. It's a platformer, so it's kind of like where you're hack and slash platform. It's got driving in it because you've got this big, like, hot rod, almost very, reminiscent of the Devil Driver.
Okay.
From Rockabilly Road Show.
Yeah.
Road Trip, sorry.
Yeah.
And then it's also got a real-time strategy part of it where you build a stage and you have like all these headbangers go and try to attack the evil demons and everything. So it's like 3 games in one.
I have to say real quick, that reminds me of the Journey arcade game back in the day.
Yes,
a little bit.
Yeah. I did love that game. And it's, well, the thing with this is that it's all moved in with the music, the heavy metal music, and it's got some great voice talent with it. Ozzy Osbourne's in it.
Nice.
Rob Halford, the lead singer of Judas Priest. Lita Ford. And it's also got like Brian Posehn, who's like the metal comedian. And the game's flawed. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's a flawed game. The real-time strategy part of the game, it's broken.
Okay.
But the running around, the hack and slash, and the story itself is really fun.
Okay, so it's not broken that you can't get past it.
It's not broken that you can't get past it. It does. It's taxing on those parts of
right.
Those parts of the game are taxing, and they're very frustrating. And it's kind of like, let's just get this over with, so I can move on with the story. And that is one. It slows down the game and everything like that. So that is one problem with it. But it is hysterical.
All right.
I mean, downright. Tim Schafer has a talent of writing comedy in his video games, and this is no exception.
Okay.
The music is great. It's got everything from, this game was made about 8 or 9 years ago. It's got everything from what was modern then to like 70s classic metal.
Okay,
You've got Dio, Priest, Motorhead. In fact, Motorhead recorded new music for that before Lemmy passed. So it's a lot of fun, and it's dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap? Well, that sounds like music to Dave's ear.
You can find this game. It was on PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. You can find it for under $5.
Really?
Under $5.
So is that like the past stuff for Xbox One or PS4? Or
no. It's I don't think it's on the pass.
Okay.
It's just it's an older game, and it's kind of a niche game. It's a game about metal.
Yeah.
Heavy metal, and a lot of people don't like heavy metal, and that's fine.
Okay.
You don't have to be a heavy metal fan to enjoy the game.
All right.
Just helps.
Okay. So, is it? Can you download the game?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you can download the game. You can go anywhere and buy it. It's like I said, it is. It's a fun, decent game. The art style is great. And once again, that Tim Schafer brand of humor. Tim Schafer is probably my favorite developer. There hasn't been a game that he's made that I really haven't liked.
All right.
So I 2 thumbs up for me, but except for that RTS section.
Okay. That's cool. And apparently it's up for the PC too.
Oh, yes, it is in the Dirty PC, but I try not to mention that because I don't want to get you excited.
All right, so speaking of the Dirty PC, do we have an Overwatch update?
Well, yeah, we've got, they have the new character, Bridget, yeah. So you've been getting a lot of mixed reviews on her from the game. So a lot of people, they're it's, but whenever you have a new character, they're going to, try to fight on how to use her best. And with the break that they had recently, it kind of gave them a little bit more time. So it's still early. We have to see how that character is going to work out.
Yeah, I mean, she's been out for a little while. Yeah. It's a melee character. Yeah. I always find those a little tough to play. Mm-hmm. She has one kind of range shot that she can do, but it's on a cooldown. She's got some buffs, a little bit defense. She's an interesting character. It's okay.
Yeah. How good works in competition?
Right.
All right. So the competition, Overwatch League, where our standings?
All right. So we're in stage 4 now. We are at stage 4 right now, looking at New York Excelsior's on top right now with 4-0. And these are just the regular standings for stage 4. The LA Gladiators are second, Valiant is third, and the Fusion is fourth. Houston, they're doing okay. So, but I know you're a big Houston fan.
Yeah.
They're slipping a little bit. So overall, the top 3 overall is New York Excelsior, London is second, and the Valiant is third overall.
Okay.
Where Excelsior is leaps and bounds above their record is 31-3.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
And then, who's that at the bottom at 0-34?
Could it be Shanghai Dragons?
Could it be?
Could it be Satan?
Satan? Yeah, they're still...
These poor bastards, they're still winless?
They're still winless. I mean, I don't even know. I think at this point, they're not even showing up.
Jeez.
I don't even think they actually go to the games anymore. This is kind of like, they have like the reserve card spot for them.
Cardboard cutouts in the chairs.
Well, we're in stage 4, and then we're going to start getting into playoffs.
Yeah,
soon.
playoffs. The playoff format is coming up. Like I said, they're going to have you're going to have the postseason playoff where they're going to have 6 teams are going to participate in the postseason playoffs. The top finisher from each division earns a first round bye.
Okay.
And then you're going to have the remaining 4 slots filled with the 4 teams with the best win-loss match record for the entire regular season. So that's when you're going to have the postseason playoffs, and it's going to be in New York. And that's going to be huge. I mean, they're selling tickets to this thing. They're like, there's a lot of money on the line.
Well, yeah, now that betting is legalized now, you can legally bet on any sport in the country now. The Supreme Court knocked it down. We can gamble.
I'm waiting to see. You can go into Vegas Sportsbook and start betting on esports.
I'm sure you could do it like 2 years ago. I'm sure. Yeah. It's just that now we got a legit league, and so
what are the odds on the Tiddlywinks League? I want it.
God.
What?
Well, they got the.
Are you 80?
They got professional cornholing going on right now too. We're in the downtime of the sports season world.
Right.
I think we had this discussion about Overwatch League a while back, where it's like I was nervous that they were going to go up against the NFL, but I mean their timing is impeccable because we're in a sports wasteland right now.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah, see, I want competitive dodgeball too. Let's see that.
I'd be a part of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the Shanghai Dragons are just going to have to revamp their whole strategy after this season's complete.
Well, then we got that. They're looking at expansion teams soon too.
Yeah. They said they're going to go to. They're probably going to go to 14, but 16 would probably flesh out a little bit better for a tournament bracket. So, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be good. Yeah.
Maybe they can find somebody that sucks more than the Shanghai Dragons.
You still got time, Dave. You can audition.
Look, once they get expansion teams, I'm all in.
There you go.
They can't not have me at that point.
Right. All right. Break time?
It is break time. We have a guest coming up.
Absolutely. Guys, when we get back, we're going to have our guest, Mr. Darryl Field, author of Blood Memory Society. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
We are but men rock.
Past time for the Big Easy to get a big comic convention. MightyCon proudly presents their very first New Orleans Comic Con, coming this June 9th and 10th at the Hilario Center in West Wego. The New Orleans Comic Con features hundreds of artists and creators, vendors, and of course, special guests. We also have free comics at the door for all attendees, free parking, and kids 12 and under get in free. Go to MightyConShows.com for more info. Don't miss New Orleans' biggest new comic book show.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktieTans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe is open at 8228 Oak Street, just 2 blocks off of Carrollton. D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe has your RPGs and TCGs and a wall full of board games to rent both in-store and to take home. It's not just a game shop. As the name D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe says, it's also a cafe serving real food at great prices. Po' boys, salads, wraps, soups, pastries, and more. So head out to 8228 Oak Street and have some fun. And when it's all over, they'll clean up after you and all your nasty friends.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Belle Chase Highway today.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek radio show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek radio show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek radio show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Autobots, transform and roll out.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. There's your host, D Squared with
Brian Held.
Brian, there's somebody in the studio with you. Are you aware?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
just checking. I didn't know.
Yes. Actually, it's our very special guest, Mr. Darryl Field. How are you?
I am doing great. Really
Awesome.
happy about being here. This is really exciting.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. So you are an author of this new book, Blood Memory Society. But before we dig into that, you're also a doctor.
Yeah, I am. I'm a dental surgeon. Yeah, I grew up not too far from here in Natchez, Mississippi, and I went to LSU Dental, did all my schooling down here in New Orleans, and then moved to Florida about 20 years ago, and been there ever since. But, yeah, this is my first novel, and it's an idea that had kind of been brewing in my head for many years, and kind of all started back with this genetics class I took years ago.
Okay. So, I mean, wow, that's a lot, though. You're a doctor and an author. I mean, how do you find the time to eat or sleep?
You know, it's really not that hard. You know, I got a good family, got good kids, and you know, I'm able to kind of bring everything together, and just, you know, when you've got a story in your head that's kind of eating at your brain to get out, you just find the time somehow to write it down and get it done. So
No.
that's pretty much what we did.
No, that's an excellent plan. So this story talks about inherited genetic memory. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, you know, right out of the sci-fi wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, you know, it's one of these things that, you know, people, when I tell people about my book, you know, they all have some story of, you know what, I keep having this deja vu moment from, you know, that I feel like I've met my grandmother's house, been there before, and there's things that everybody has that they tend to relate with this idea that could memories literally pass down the bloodline. And so that's where it started with me is this genetics class I took where we're talking about something in the animal world that really exists called genetic memory. And so we're talking about this rat study, this mouse study, and they would take a mouse and put it in a box and draw a white line halfway across the box. So when the mouse crossed the white line, got an electrical shock. And so just like Pavlov's dogs, eventually it learns not to cross that white line. But mice reproduce very fast. So after the 10th or 12th generation, they could take a baby mouse, put it in the box, and it knew not to cross the white line. It was born with the knowledge not to cross that white line. It's called genetic memory.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I started thinking, well, what if one human memory could be passed down? And then you start thinking, what is deja vu? What are these things? And so that's where the idea came for it.
Well, and could that also be instinct, right? That we're afraid of things just inherently?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, instinct, in its basic form is a form of memory, but there's things in the animal world. For example, this is a new one where they studied elephants recently, and they found that when a female elephant gets pregnant, she walks this dirt path to the watering hole many, many more times than she has to. And so they determined that she does this because if she dies during birth, the baby elephant knows how to get to water. So,
wow.
There's things like that happening. And so who knows? I mean, in this, for me, in this kind of mixed up social soup that we live in, I mean, we really don't need longer claws and bigger fangs. It's about brain power and the evolution of the mind. And who knows? I mean, 1,000 years, maybe memories will be inherited.
I don't know, man. I tell you what, both my kids, were actively trying to murder themselves while they were very small children. It's like, here, what's this? Let me stick it in my throat. So I don't know. I take a little umbrage with that, but I really, I do. I got faith in the mice and the elephants. Humans, not so much.
So how does this incorporate into Blood Memory Society?
Okay, yeah. So there's a few select people in the world that have this ability to inherit their ancestors' memories. And so they're super intelligent. And the government relies on them for ideas and inventions, and they keep them well protected in this secret organization called the Blood Memory Society. So this memory that's passed down the bloodline is called blood memory. So someone is killing off the Blood Memory Society. So there's only a couple members left. So they hired this young doctor, and he's the primary character here, and they hire him to kind of come out to figure out how are memories inherited. How is this even possible? And as soon as he gets involved in the project, he's on the run for his life from assassins, and he's trying to protect this young lady, one of the only ones that is left, who has a 400-year-old memory.
Wow.
Nice.
All right, and we're talking with author Darryl Fields about his new book, Blood Memory Society. So tell me about... it wasn't just the genetics class that prompted this. There's something from your family, right, that prompted writing this book, right?
Well, there's some family stories. This thing, it kind of gets convoluted, and it kind of ties back into some Civil War kind of things. And there was some things in my family where I had a grandfather that went to West Point, and there, I don't know if you remember the Battle of Vicksburg, and in the Battle of Vicksburg, the Union came in and burnt down the entire city.
Okay.
But there were a few remaining buildings and houses that remained, and from the stories I was told that one of those was one of my family members, because he had gone to West Point, and the general from the Union had gone to West Point and seen his photo on the mantle and didn't allow him to burn the house down. Huh. So I kind of incorporated that story to some degree in this book, because I always thought that was a pretty amazing story.
Yeah, no, that's definitely in the book. It's very cool.
I like that it's a very select few, because that terrifies me that if every human could actually, because we need to clean the gene pool every now and again, don't we? I'm just saying what y'all are thinking.
Jeez. You're so terrible. So,
that's why they have the Darwin Awards.
Right.
Without that, we wouldn't have any Darwin Awards.
No, you're right. You're right. So you are out promoting this right now. Huh?
Yep.
What's your tour schedule look like?
So we did a lot of signings, book signings, mainly in the Southeast, pretty much every southern state. And we've had 2 movie companies have called, and we had to give them, the official statement saying the movie rights are available, but you call me tomorrow and let's discuss. But and then another cool thing is that Reese Witherspoon, my understanding is she has it right now, and so I'm hoping find out, hopefully she'll like it, and I'll get a phone call from that. But that would be super. But yeah, just signings and it's just been an absolute blast getting around and hearing everybody's stories. And real quick, I can tell you a story about my editor in New York, and he was writing. His name's Dana, and he was right in the middle of editing my book, and he was telling me that he had to fly from New York back to Wisconsin, where he's from, to go to a family funeral, and so. He gets there and he lands, and his sister picks him up, and Dana's wearing his favorite plaid jacket. And by the way, he texts me this at the time this happened, and he's right in the middle of my book. He says, I have to tell you the story. So he gets there, he's got his favorite plaid jacket on, it's got his favorite pattern and color, and his sister goes, oh, Dana, I love that jacket. He goes, that exact jacket was Dad's favorite. And he goes, Darryl, the significance of that was my dad died when I was 1 year old.
Oh, geez.
So that's like that blood memory coming through.
Wow.
So when I'm going around and doing these signings, it's funny. It just resonates to some degree with some people, and they'll tell me these stories like that. And it's been fascinating to hear these things.
So, Dave, your dad was like really into 70s culture and stuff. Is that why you still wear bell bottoms?
Wow. Have you been thinking of that for like 20 minutes now?
No.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
So, Darryl, tell me, this is not it, right? This is not a one and done. You have plans for both a sequel and a prequel.
That's right. Yeah. So the sequel's done, and we're going to be disclosing the release of that pretty soon. So the sequel is going to take over, and then the third book's going to be the prequel, which is going to explain to you kind of how all this happened to this one family, how it all kind of got started, and it's going to take you back to around that Civil War time in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, and so that's fun. And I've been doing some research on that, and just got back from Rome. And, gosh, you go over there, man, it really puts things in perspective. I mean, you first thing you see when you pull up is these 30-foot walls that have been surrounding Rome for 2,000 years. I mean, so it really makes you really put perspective what of a flash in the pan sometimes our memories are, right? But so that, and then the sequel just got back from Cuba also, and the Cuba is going to play a big role in the sequel, because if let's say your great grandfather buried something in Cuba and it's something super important, right? Well, when you got down there, it hasn't changed in 100 years, 150 years, so you would recognize the buildings and those kinds of things, and so that memory may lead you to where this certain thing is, possibly a cave.
Interesting. All right. That's
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was the iconography of Artemis is the Blood Memory Society's heraldry or their coat of arms, right? The owl?
The owl, yes,
right.
That's right.
So is that what took you to Rome?
No, just some things in Rome, and I wanted to do some research on some of the Colosseum elements and the forums and things like that. That's going to kind of play into it.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
We are getting close to a commercial break, so if you could tell our listeners out there how they can find you out there on the net or social media, how they can keep up with your whole series.
Yeah, so it's DAField, DAFIELD.com is my website, and, of course, you can get the book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, any of those, and send me a line. Let me know what you think. If you've got one of those crazy memory stories, I'd love to hear about it.
That's fantastic. Well, Darryl, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by today.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Wonderful.
it.
All right, guys, stay tuned when we get back from these short commercial messages.
Brian's going to work on a new joke that he'll bring to you next week.
Oh, jeez.
You got to write it down. It's a lot of work.
We're going to close out the show as we always do with This Week in Geek History. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktitans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
It's long past time for the Big Easy to get a big comic convention. MightyCon proudly presents their very first New Orleans Comic Con, coming this June 9th and 10th at the Hilario Center in West Wego. The New Orleans Comic Con features hundreds of artists and creators, vendors, and of course, special guests. We also have free comics at the door for all attendees, free parking, and kids 12 and under get in free. Go to MightyConShows.com for more info. Don't miss New Orleans' biggest new comic book show.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Mata Hari, Agent H21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
Everyone listen! No one quits! This is Casper Van Dien, Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers, and you're listening to the Week in Geek Radio Show! Come on, you apes! You want to live forever? Kill them all! You know what to do! Service guarantees citizenship!
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek. I'm D Squared.
With Brian Held.
You are.
Yes.
You are Brian. Hey, Brian. I think on Saturday, June 2nd, there's something cool happening on the West Bank Jefferson Parish Library.
Yeah, there's the West Bank Library Palooza.
Library Palooza!
Yeah, they're kicking off their 2017 summer reading campaign. And
read a book, read a mother bleeping book.
Right, and they're doing a little medieval festival with our friends over at the Barony of Axmore. That's part of the Society for Creative Anachronism. And, there's going to be sword fighting demonstrations, archery demonstrations, medieval crafts and clothing will be on display, face painting for the kids, special crafts. Raising Cane's will have iced tea and lemonade out there.
All right, I'm sold. I'm in. I'm all in now.
So you can... Oh, geez. You can go to jplibrary.net to find out more information, or go to the library's Facebook page and get some updates for the programming there. So... yeah, the SCA always does great demonstrations.
Absolutely. Now, as always, we want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio, and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play, a whole bunch of other places, iHeartRadio, and at WRNO.com.
This week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Da-na-na, da-na-na. Wow.
I just realized this first item you have a hotkey for. Let's see how fast you can get to it.
Okay.
All right, first item on the list is May 22nd, 1980. Namco releases the classic arcade game Pac-Man in Japan.
Oh, yeah. There we go. There you are.
So, yeah.
So, wait, 1980?
1980 is when it released in Japan.
Oh, in Japan?
Yes.
Japan.
All right.
Yeah, all that cool stuff comes out in Japan first, then we get it.
Oh, so when did we get it?
That's a good question.
I believe we got it either later that year or the next year we got
81 probably. Yeah.
Man, those bastards.
Well, you know,
stealing all our good games.
What are you talking about? They develop all the good games.
Giving us all
Not
these good
anymore.
games. All right, what else we got?
All right, May 23rd, 1994. Sees the end of Star Trek The Next Generation with their finality.
Finality.
Yes.
Fatality.
Right.
Finish him.
All good things. So, yeah.
Such a great episode.
Yeah.
Wait, which one was that? The last one?
Going through Picard going through 3 time periods.
Oh, I thought that
he was young. He was really old, and it was the first mission, the Farpoint mission.
Yeah, and then him at the vineyard, right?
And him at the vineyard when he was really old.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of the last Enterprise one that had Jonathan Frakes in it. That was yeah. No. He was like doing a history report on Captain Archer. Of the Enterprise.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it sucked.
All right.
All right, what's next?
Next one is
Star Trek, man. They're supposed to make a Star Trek land, in Universal Studios. At least that's the scuttlebutt. I don't know if it's going to be worth our time.
Yeah, it's all rumor.
Anything you could do, I could do better. That's what that is, basically.
Well, they got to combat Star Wars. I don't know if Star Trek's a good substitute.
Look, I've been to Universal Studios. I like it, but it doesn't hold a candle to Walt Disney World, man.
Nothing can hold Walt Disney's jock.
I mean, even, Harry Potter Land is fun, but it's just so brief. It's like...
No, because now they got 2 of them. Now you have to pay to go to both parks and see both sides, so they got you there. But it's really cool. Like, they got Diagon Alley, and I almost passed it up. I didn't realize it was there. I missed it the first day. Yeah, it's literally hidden. All right, what's next?
May 24th, 1985. Sees the founding of Quantum Computer Services, which will go on to become America Online.
And coasters were made that day.
Yes. You've got mail.
You've got mail.
Yes.
All right, what's next?
All right, let's see if you can figure this one out. May 25th, 1961. United States President John Kennedy announces his goal of sending a man to the moon, creating the Apollo program.
Oh, you mean the television set out there in California?
See, what did I tell you, Skungy?
He told me.
Yep, I'm telling you, it's all a farce.
So that was when they started beginning production on...
Stanley Kubrick is such a perfectionist that he flew to the moon to film it.
Nope.
All right. Oh, jeez. All right, May 25th, 1977 is the opening of Star Wars Episode 4, changing movies and marketing forever.
Ever.
It is.
He got a fine for doing the opening crawl because, like at that point, you had to put the credits first.
Yeah. Oh, and I have to mention, since I've mentioned this, on the 21st of May in 1980 was Empire released, and on the 25th of 1983, Return of the Jedi was released.
So
cool.
Yes.
It's all in the same week.
Yeah.
In the same week, all 3 movies? Oh my God!
2 at the same day.
3 years apart.
Oh, okay, got it. Check. All right, let's wrap up with birthdays. We only got about a minute left.
Okay, on the 21st, Mr. T.
Ah, pity the fool who don't celebrate my birthday.
Yes. On the 22nd, Max Brooks, author of Zombie Survival Guide and World War Z.
I know. I liked him. We interviewed him. He's a cool cat.
Yes, yes. On the 23rd, Drew Carey.
Drew Carey. Yeah. I love Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland rocks.
On the 24th, the actor you love and never seen, Doug Jones. Abe Sapien from...
he was in Pan's
Hellboy.
Hellboy, all that stuff.
Oh, okay. I saw an action figure for him at the con, at MovieCon.
On the 25th, Sir Ian McKellen.
Yay!
And on the 27th, your boy, Eddie McClintock.
Boom! Boom! Yeah,
yes.
My man. All right, man. That's a wrap, dude. I guess where are we going next week? What's kicking?
We have nothing going on next week, I believe, but the following week is New Orleans Comic Con at the Hilario Center, June 9th and 10th, so that's where we're going to be.
You mean MightyCon?
Well, MightyCon is the organizers, but it's officially called New Orleans Comic Con. That's
Oh, really? I didn't know it had an actual name like that. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, crap. Till next time, keep your nerve flag raised high.
GFL.
Your new home for Walton and Johnson. News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station.